They will give you always the best rate.
They connect to Binance, HitBTC, LMAX, and Kraken.
What I like about SwissBorg is that they have an amazing app.
Pow Wow, yo yippee, hey guys, Pow number 14, super excited to be with you guys today. We're going to talk about the love of the community, then talk about the markets with Bitcoin at all-time high, and then talk about SwissBorg ecosystem and talk about the smart yield report with USDC and Ether. If you're not part of our wonderful family board, just tweet it and we'll make it happen and add some green eyes like we love it, because the cyborg is all about that. Question of the week. The yield program has been a great thing for SwissBorg token, but as well for SwissBorg ecosystem in general. It has enabled us to really bring more assets, and we're going to talk about that right after. But what would be the right yield for the SwissBorg token? And obviously within a reason. Just don't say like 50%. Obviously, everyone would like to do 50%. And maybe try to comment here and see what are the different ways how we could provide a higher yield that could be more attractive for you guys that are premium and are staking, and bring more people to buy this premium and obviously to yield on the SwissBorg token. So just throw any comments here. What is the right percentage? And as well, what would be the different utilities or different ways that we could bring that this yield could grow? Talking about community, and welcome to the family to Felipe from Brazil. Super happy to have him. He's going to be really helping us on data in general. It's really good to have more and more lovely people joining the family, multicultural team. So again, bienvenido de Felipe do Brasil. If you want to be part of a wonderful team, we have open positions all the time. Every week there's more and more cool different positions. Engineering manager for the order management team, technical product for the order management system. I mean, this is really important about the smart engine. We have DeFi researcher, product manager, token economics, someone who's going to really look after our wonderful SwissBorg token. Obviously, we're looking at it every day, and you and us together we're making it better. But now we're going to actually have a person that's his only job is to make sure that we are going to Mars all together. And there's relationship manager pour les Français si jamais. So looking forward to you guys to apply or to refer anyone, and you could earn up to $3,000 worth of SwissBorg tokens. Massive shout out to Romain Sprengers. You are, dude, amazing. On Twitter, you are a true warrior. Thank you so much for putting those green eyes to everyone. Mille merci de ton effort. By the way, guys, this is the new collection of SwissBorg shirts that will come very soon. We're setting up a shop as we speak. Romain, please DM me your address. We'll be sending you the new swag. We have new cool stuff that just arrived, as the hoodie and other things. News of the week, NFTs, institutional, Coinbase, right? That's the three big themes. Obviously, NFT is just growing. We're talking about every person into the pop art culture or the fashion industry we see with Gucci, but even as well Playboy magazine that's getting into it. Why not? We've seen as well the fact that, crypto is getting to mass adoption through high net worth individuals, which is good. Obviously not always the best, but it's good like that everyone is getting into it. So we know that State Street is now offering crypto, which is really huge, and is going to probably build an ETF or something similar in order to get there. Brian Armstrong talking about NFT, but more importantly about his huge IPO tomorrow. We'll talk about that later. Last but not least, yes, the biggest, richest on the planet today is a youngster that is a huge, big fan of himself. We talked about it. This is the CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, that now has close to 10 billion worth in crypto, which is crazy. Market update, Bitcoin all-time high. We were waiting and we were playing around with that 60,000 resistance, and essentially, I think so, Coinbase IPO that is oversubscribed, is going crazy on the secondary market. There's a lot of people that are trying to get in at $100 billion valuation, is probably that brought up Bitcoin to all-time high. So this is something that's very interesting. We will see how this will evolve in the future. But right now, as we played with that resistance multiple times and it broke through, I do believe that we are in new territories and that we're probably going for a nice bull run. Last but not least, on S&P as well, we reached all-time high. And the Fed meeting is probably going to add some stimulus package that will boost the financial markets and most probably help crypto market as well. All-time high and all-time high, $2,200 for Ether. Great things going on. We still see that massive resistance at 0.0385 BTC. Until that, we'll be playing around. But again, great momentum moving on Ethereum right now. SwissBorg token is flirting between that $1.02 and $1.10, essentially looking for the next big event. I think so. There is still very good momentum on different DeFi and as well token exchanges. So therefore, we should be probably having a quite a nice run. We've seen that with other different projects. As you guys, I just mentioned earlier, Coinbase IPO is really the main catalyst of this week and maybe actually of this new quarter too. It's really has shown that crypto is not here just for a little thing. It's changing the game forever. Bitcoin itself, but as well Coinbase. The biggest IPO of all US financial markets is actually a crypto company at a valuation of 100 billion. This is huge. We talked about 50 billion a few months ago. Their valuation doubled in less than a quarter. That is how big it is. That means that today it's among the biggest financial, essentially, whale. We're talking about bigger than most banks. And the valuation is as big as HSBC and Goldman Sachs, which both of them a few years ago said, yeah, but crypto is just a fade. So this really shows that how technology could scale and that how essentially we at Swissborg are doing the right thing, right? The big difference I would say from Coinbase to us is that we really are playing the decentralized matter. We really have a community, not shareholders. I think so that has a real big difference of alignment of vision. But nevertheless, I'm really happy again that Coinbase is a very successful company that has brought 56 million people to buy crypto. That is huge. 300 billion in volume in quarterly. I think so they made over, if I'm not mistaken, it was like something like $300 million in revenues. It's just crazy. It's a really fantastic story. Congratulations to the whole Coinbase IPO and the Coinbase team. This is definitely a game changer, and it shows again that institutional money is coming in, high net worth money is coming in, but just overall mass adoption is coming in, and that is a great thing for Swissborg and all the different crypto.com, Binance, but as well Swissborg are really going to benefit from this credibility and going to be growing our community more and more. I'm happy with that. Announcement of the week, we are super happy that we have made a match in heaven. Swissborg is partnering up with Scala Centre. So Scala Centre is the center for Scala. Scala, if many should know, it's the language that essentially Swissborg has been building all the backend technology. It's one of the greatest programming language that is very well known for Twitter, which is today one of the biggest scalable social media platforms in the world. We're really, really happy to be a key member there. Does it mean that we'll be recruiting better and better members from that wonderful ecosystem, and we'll be making it growing with open source projects going forward. Twitter, big shout out to Sissy for this wonderful Master Chief cool NFT. We reached 50,000 on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, just please do it. It is important. So congratulations to that. Looking forward to buy this NFT. Smart Yield March report. It's been fantastic. Overall, when you think about it, today between those three different smart yields, we have at $500 million asset under management, which is really great. Record on Ether, by the way, the results. 50,000 Ether was collected within 48 hours. That is huge. That is over $100 million within 2 days, which is great. And almost 85,000 Ether by the end of the March, which is really great. Now we should be close to 100,000. 25,000 users subscribed to there. Nearly 300 users hold 50 plus Ether. I mean, there's a lot of wealthy people now that are staking and yielding at a very nice, and the average yield is 15%. That is really, really good. Right now, the maximum day was 18%. That's just really good. I just talked about that. And cumulative earnings already so far 250 ETH, which again, that is really, really great. I'm happy. If you are enjoying it, well, that's great. If you're not, you should really think again, think twice, and actually yield, and that will help you a lot to boost your wealth. USD Smart Yield results for the month of March was great. I mean, 20% average. People have earned 1.6 million through the Smart Yield. More than 10,000 users using actually USDC, which is really, really great. And the maximum yield for one day actually was 31%, 22, which is really, really great. We're really happy that you're benefiting. Again, this is a great way to diversify your risk. If crypto does go down, or there's a huge correction, you'll be very happy to have that a fair amount in that USDC Smart Yield, and that's what I'm doing for sure. Strategy Optimizer, as you guys know, Oracle enables, like the Smart Edge engine, to look at different decentralized liquidity pools and making sure that you are yielding at the best risk return parameters on every single day. And for that reason, we have now, been looking into 19 different applications which are used in March. 9 that for Ether and 18 actually for USDC. Obviously, there's a lap over between both of them, which is really great. There's been over 1,200 transactions that took place on Binance Smart Chain and Ether as well. What is great to know is that there's been even if a lot is done through Binance Smart Chain, there's still a lot that's on Ether. So therefore, there's been over $50,000 of transaction fees. That really shows that it's very complicated for one person actually to handle this. You really need to be aware. Last but not least, we're seeing growing more Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, and really believe that Binance Smart Chain is taking the lead on Ethereum. However, most of the time, we're still invested 50-50 on both sides. So when we talked about earlier about this Oracle that scans, we have whitelisted a few only decentralized liquidity pools. Right? You're really making sure that the audit is not done on only a finance perspective, counterparty risk, but really on the technical auditing, looking sure that smart contracts are well programmed, but the oracles that are feeding as well these smart contracts are well done. And you could see that it's really been in Ether, a big portion has been done on Venus so far for the Binance Smart Chain, and a lot as well on Vesper on Ethereum. And which goes on the other side of USDCs, a lot has been done on Vesper, and as well a lot has been done on Belt, and it's pretty much then quite diversified, and making sure that these programs are running and that security audits are done, always constantly updated whenever there's new things happening within these decentralized liquidity pools. Safety net program, as you guys know, there is a risk to essentially deposit your Ether, your USDC on these different liquidity pools. It could happen that for some reason, there could be an economical hack or just a regular hack, and you could lose your funds. And therefore, SwissBorg, we took the responsibility to really make sure that this would never happen. And we have implemented a great way to bring the safety net, and essentially, what does it happen? We brought initially $1 million worth of SwissBorg tokens in the Smart Yield, USD Smart Yield at the launch, and we have taken 25% of performance fees from the USDC, from the premium. And for that, now it's over $10 million US valued within that safety net. And it already happened in one case that we lost $86,000 into one liquidity pool, but no one really felt it, because essentially we took that from the Smart Yield and from the safety net, and we essentially made that swap there. And that's what we're really doing, is making sure we're accumulating these fees and growing CHSB as the Smart Yield within the safety net, and making sure that if unfortunately some of these funds we do lose them, well, it doesn't matter, we'll reimburse them from the safety net and make sure that you have the best investment experience like always. Swissborg Wealth App and these stats. 30 people only left premium. A lot of people said, oh, that's not normal, but so many people left. No, that means that 93% of people remain into the app on a daily basis, checking there at least every 2-3 days. We have onboarded last week all-time high 22,500 people, which is really great. We have today 336,000 users onboarded on the Wealth app, which that is 1/3 of a million, which is great. We have 1.4 billion assets under management. In France, merci la francophonie, la France, on a plus de 100 000 utilisateurs. And we have a total of 2 million exchanges that have done on the Wealth app after 13 months. Smart yield, as we talked about it, we have close to 100,000 Ether. Hopefully we'll get to there next week, and close to $90 million into the USD, which means combined together, we have over 300 million only in those two different liquidity pools, which I think so is something really great to happen. Weekly CHSB data. We are close to 5,000 premium. Please, next week, let's add 80 people into the premium to make sure we get to 5,000. That would be great. We have 130,000 CHSB stake, 80% supply, over 300 million in the CHSB yield. We have lost 7.5% last week. We have close to $600,000 now in the protect and burn. It's growing as we speak. And we have over 81,000 people that has CHSB token only in the Wealth app, which that is really, really great. It really shows that, again, a lot of our community members have faith into SwissBorg token, which is great. Which brings us to the community and so guys, what is it? Going to be a 7.5, 7.6, 8.2, 8.1? It is 8. Essentially, SwissBorg token has not performed extremely well. All the rest is doing very well, and the community app unfortunately has dropped a lot of traction recently. But nevertheless, 336,000 people on board and on the Wealth app thing, so that is great, and more things to come very soon. Tomorrow night is crypto night. Super excited. I'm going to be sharing the time with my brother. It's really cool to be with Alex. We'll be sharing a lot of different things. I don't remember exactly what we did, but it was in Dubai. I talked about the community, the love, and our ecosystem. We're growing it. If you want to be part of the live, you might earn the chance to get a Genesis Premium, not at 50,000, but at 5,000. Or you can offer this to whoever you want within the ecosystem. So it's a really good time to take advantage of sharing the live with Alex, myself, and obviously earning potentially winning this really cool Genesis Premium at only 5,000. Guys, another fantastic week. The market all-time high, Bitcoin at all-time high, Ethereum at all-time high, BNB at all-time high, and not SwissBorg token. And why is that happening? Well, it happens because I think so the nature of our own token has its own form. You know, sometimes markets are bearish, but you know, SwissBorg token is doing its own thing, and we're very much fundamentally driven, and maybe we don't have as hype as other things going around, but that's just a matter of time. We're at a very, very early stage. Today we're only 2 billion 2 trillion market cap, which that is only 20% of what represents gold. So imagine how crypto is going to grow, but even more importantly, how SwissBorg is going to grow within that. Today, we know that we have one of the best wealth app in order to buy, sell digital assets, one of the best wealth app in order to get into DeFi without taking any risk, but still accumulating the highest returns. We have, more importantly, one of the best utility token that enables you to get governance rights, to get you premium Genesis. The premium community obviously is coming very soon. There's other ways to maximize your yield, to lower down your transaction fees on the Wealth app, and get that SwissBorg smart yield on it. And I think so that sustainable yield, I really want to hear from your voice. How can we bring a higher rate to it? What will be the good rate enough that will enable us to see like, okay, this is attractive, but it's sustainable as well. Because I think so this is why we at SwissBorg are game changers. And there's so much more things I want to talk about, but the really exciting part is that by the end of the month, we're going to have our AMA. The quarterly SwissBorg meeting is going to happen like every quarter. We'll be revealing not only a roadmap, but a lot of new cool stuff that I really want to talk about right now. But for now, I should wish you a great life. Be happy, be wealthy, and have trust in our CHSB. Take care, guys. Bye.
Whether you want to buy 100 Bitcoins or 10 euros, you can always get the best price execution.